Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for the first ever episode of Explore 365 with NJspots. I'm one of your hosts, Virginia, the founder of NJspots. I want to thank you for joining us and hope you tune in for future episodes. During this exciting first episode, I, along with our editor Abby, are hitting the ground running introducing or reintroducing NJspots from a 10,000-foot view. We discuss how NJspots came to be, what it is, what we do, and what impact our followers, like yourself, have on our community. In future episodes, we plan on having conversations with our patrons, members of our community, and some other local organizations. Along with those interviews, we plan on bringing you the best of the best for outdoor tips, adventure ideas, and photography skill sets, not just for New Jersey, but wherever you're watching or listening from. We're thrilled to launch this new project with you and hope you continue to be a part of our great NJspots community. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our first episode of Explore 365. Hey guys, Virginia here from NJspots or at Boohoo on Instagram, and you are tuning in to Find Your Spot. Here is my co-host, Abby.
Hey guys, this is Abby or Abby Dufo on Instagram. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast.
Dun, 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 dun.
You might be watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast app of your choice, but we are happy to have you here.
Yeah, this is something that's been in the making for quite a few months now. We're really excited to bring it to you guys. Thanks for tuning in, whether you're starting right at the beginning with us on January 5th, 2021, or if you're listening at a later date, welcome. We're happy to have you here.
Yes, we are. So Virginia, how did NJspots get started, for those of you who have never heard of NJspots, or for those of you who have been with us this entire time?
First off, if you have been with us this entire time, congratulations, because you are an OG.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, and for those who don't know about NJspots, it stands for New Jersey Spots, and it originated as purely an Instagram account. So back in 2015, I had returned from a really cool vacation out in Utah, and Instagram was really becoming a big boom with what people were sharing, the photos they were sharing, the places they were going. And when I came back to New Jersey, I was kind of looking for something like that just right here in our own backyard, and I couldn't really find anything on Instagram that kind of shared that same mentality. So at that point, I basically had said, okay, well, we have spots in New Jersey that are pretty cool, and it's New Jersey, so I literally put two and two together, and NJspots was born. And I think one of the biggest things that I really appreciated, and looking back now, is probably one of the better things for the brand, was it was nice and short. It was easy to remember, and it wasn't something that was out of the realm of what the theme was, of just sharing really cool places in New Jersey. And since then, we've been breaking stereotypes, sharing amazing places, and we've grown to this bigger brand beyond an Instagram account, and really a community with various themes that I'm sure we'll be talking about on this podcast. And then
Yes.
Fast forward to, 2018, Abby, you came on?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. So Virginia is the founder, and I found NJspots just as many of you did. I was on Instagram. I had moved to New Jersey in 2015, I think it was. I was scrolling through Instagram. A photo popped up on my feed. I was like, wow, this is a really, really pretty spot in New Jersey. I can't remember where exactly it was. But there was a call for writers. And I said, oh, I can write. I know some spots in New Jersey. Let me think about doing some writing for this person who I met on the internet, who happens to be right across from me on this podcast now. Hey. So yeah, I applied for the position, and now bam, here we are. I am the editor. I am a project manager. We do all these wonderful things across New Jersey, from the mountains to the beaches. As Virginia mentioned, we do tons of guides on the website. You guys might have seen them. We'll get into that a little later in the podcast. One of the things that we did want to touch on is these amazing maps that Virginia has really has coined for a lot of people. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So the NJspots maps, some people only know us purely for the maps. Yeah, they follow us on Instagram,
definitely.
but I can't say how many people. I mean, I would say at least a dozen or so in our meetups have come up to me and just said, "Oh my gosh, I love the maps that you've created." So the maps, really, like Abby said, is a coined a part of what NJspots does.
They're super curated, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely spend time adding, taking things away, adding comments. If we can, we put links in there for description. So for those of you that may not be familiar with what the maps are, if you go to njspots.com, you could search. We have dozens of maps on there, anywhere from sunset spots to lighthouses to overlooks of New York City and Philadelphia. Bridges. It's almost gotten to the point where I think we have like something for everybody. I mean, we have Christmas lights, we have fall foliage spots, we have things for different seasons. It's really become a really cool thing that people go to kind of get more of an idea of what's in their area, but also if they're traveling to somewhere in the state, they could find something really cool. So that's been something that we've really kind of taken a lot of pride in and really tried to, like Abby said, we curate it all the time and add more things to it.
For sure. And a lot of people will come to us on Instagram and they'll say like, where can I find a place to look for a bridge on the Delaware River? And we know exactly where to send them because we have curated these maps exactly for that purpose.
Yeah.
So that's one really strong part of NJspots that we like
absolutely.
to share.
And that kind of goes into, something that we really like to take a pride in with our community is we encourage people to find their spot. The name of this podcast is Find Your Spot, not just in New Jersey, but wherever you are. And what we've really found, I know for myself as an adventurer, and I'm sure Abby can attest to this as well, is finding that really cool spot that, I mean, I know I have a couple in New Jersey that I haven't shared with people just because I want it to be my spot. But with Instagram and some of these awesome photos that people are sharing, people do find other people's spots. But what's really cool about our community is we've been able to really encourage people to get out there, find new places, and especially with this last year with everybody being home a lot more, not traveling as much.
For sure.
It's really grown, to an appreciation of allowing people to just find a new place to visit.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure. And for me, encouraging people to find their spot, especially in New Jersey, hits really close to home. Like I mentioned, I moved to New Jersey in 2015. I got a job here after grad school. I didn't know where to go. So I moved to Princeton. I found a really cute outdoor spot, which I'm not going to tell you where it is. If you want to know, you can DM me on Instagram. Maybe I'll tell you where it is. But blossoming into this NJspots community has helped me tell other people where to explore, find new spots. And so that it's really personal for me to encourage people to find new places to, discover in the state.
Well,
so
being
with that,
Princeton, yep, there you go.
Yeah. With that, I was going to say what my favorite spot is. I think Princeton is probably my favorite spot, having lived there when I first moved here, just because there's so much history there, the buildings in the university, the outdoor spots you can get to really easily. Obviously, in pre-COVID times, there was so much to do. The movie theater, the art museum,
Hogwarts,
things like that. Hogwarts. Yeah, if you guys check out our reels, I posted a reel recently of the Hogwarts hallway, which is super cool. I mean, like, the whole campus looks pretty much like Hogwarts, but I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd. I'm obviously a Slytherin. Don't
ask me, because I have no idea what I am.
Yeah, Virginia's not that
That's
much
another
of a nerd.
episode.
I mean, yeah, that's a different episode. So yeah, Princeton's probably my favorite. My second favorite's probably Asbury Park. I love the ocean.
What's
a
specific place in Asbury Park that you like, Abby? Because it's like there's so much to do in Asbury Park that it's like it's a whole region.
I love the all of the artwork. I love that every time I go there, I can find new art to check out. And I love that when I turn from the murals, I can see the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, that's what I'm obsessed with. And I kind of alluded to it earlier, but New Jersey's so cool because like one day you can be in the mountains, like one afternoon you can be in the mountains, and then at night you can go right to the beach. So yeah, that's what I love about Asbury. How about you? What's your favorite spot?
Well, speaking of mountains, I would have to say, and I know it's cliche, but Mount Tammany is definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, that is really
It's so cliche. I know. If you know anything about NJspots, you know at least once a week we share a photo from Mount Tammany. But
yeah, probably.
it's such a dynamic landscape. If you haven't checked it out already, you should do so. It's over it's a Delaware Water Gap recreational area, which is a federal land, so it's really cool because it's kept really nice. There's some really good parking areas. Get there early though, because otherwise you will not get a spot.
Parking lot fills up quick.
Really fast. But Mount Tammany, I definitely have to say, is one of my favorites because that was I distinctly remember that being the one spot that I remember sharing a lot on NJspots that I hadn't seen. And the day that I finally went and I hiked it, I got it. It clicked. I was like, yep, this makes sense. It makes sense why everybody is sharing the photo here because not only is it a strenuous hike to get there, but when you're at the top, you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. No wonder why everybody takes a picture because
the payoff is so good.
Exactly. And as you're trying to catch your other lung that you left down the hill, you're just you're finally like, wow, this is so worth it. And even though it's probably better, I would say, in the summertime or the fall, it's a really cool view any time of year. And kind of going off of that spot, I would say one of my second favorite areas, probably because it's close to home for me, is Alamucci State Park. That's one of the places I have a little secret spot that there's a lot of trails there, but I have a secret spot that I like to keep a secret only to the closest friends. Abby got to go. We went there for an NJspots quick meeting. Alamucci State Park is definitely one of my favorites. I regret that I haven't spent enough time down at the beach, but I'm sure that I would definitely say Asbury Park is a cool place too.
Yeah, for sure. It was voted actually one of our we did a little voting contest on Instagram, and it was voted the top photo spot by you guys on Instagram. We wrote a little story about it. There's just so much to see at the beach. So yeah, if you want to follow us on Instagram, we do lots of stuff on our stories that you can be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of going off that, with Asbury Park being one of the top spots in New Jersey, I would definitely have to say that the cities also take the cake too. I mean, what's really cool about New Jersey is not only are we this tiny little state that has the most amount of people in it out of anybody in the country, but we also have New York City on one side and Philadelphia on the other. And I think one of the big things that I really appreciate sometimes is, being a mountain lover myself, but I really love those skyline shots of New York City or Philadelphia.
Right.
Those are some really top spots.
And those are some of the most photographed on Instagram too. We see how many followers do we have now?
I think right now 50,000? At this recording we have over 55,000.
Yeah, so we see a question we get really often on Instagram is how you can be featured, and it's super easy. You just hashtag NJspots and we see your photo.
That's it.
And we
you have to be a public profile though.
Yes, you do have to be a public profile. So we see tons of pictures every single day, but some of the most photographed spots are Tammany, as we mentioned, Asbury Park, Barnegat Light, which makes sense, it's on the license plates.
Yep.
Anywhere of the New York City skyline, so Liberty State Park, Weehawken, Hoboken, those are really, really, really big spots. Ben Franklin Bridge from either side of the river. Yep. One spot that's actually getting a lot of, that's getting bigger right now is the Pinelands, but also a lot of state parks and forests. And I think that's because in COVID, people are getting out a lot more.
Yeah.
So we've been seeing a lot more hiking photos, which is
I have
really
something
cool
to say about that though.
Sure.
If you're going out into the forest and the parks and you're not used to going out there, pick up your garbage, Clean up after
I was
yourself.
just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Got it. Um, yeah, I mean, the thing is, guys, like a lot of people, and this is kind of like a weird debate that I'm sure we'll dive into in further episodes, but a
For
lot of
sure.
people are very used to the trails. They treat it with respect, they know about it, they know how to prepare,
Absolutely.
but there's people that might be visiting for the first time. And just make yourself aware, get educated, pick up your trash,
Absolutely.
especially these days, pick up your masks, pick up gloves that you might be having,
Absolutely.
any like sanitary, not sanitary, any sanitizing wipes that you have. Make sure you pick up your
Absolutely.
trash after you, because New Jersey is such a small state. We do have a lot of people on these trails. Just make sure you clean up. That's all.
Absolutely. I actually had someone who followed me from NJspots commented on one of my posts. If you follow me, you'll see I post a lot about picking up trash.
She's very trashy.
And I am very trashy. Someone from NJspots who followed me actually commented and said he now packs a trash bag along with his camera.
There you go.
Puts it in his camera bag. It's as easy as that.
It's not
But
that
just
hard.
be careful. No, it's not. Just be careful. Be sanitary about it. But yes, definitely, please, just pack out what you pack in.
What's that
it's
saying?
As simple
What's
as
that saying? It's take only pictures and leave only footprints.
Only footprints. Yep. Same with the beach, the parks, anything. Just
Yep.
be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're all in this together, guys. We got to keep it clean,
We are.
especially if we're taking
That's
pictures and we got to share them. We don't want to share pictures of trash.
No,
So
for sure
so
not.
keep it clean. One of the bigger things that I think one of the first things that people see when they look at NJspots is the photography. That's one of the biggest things that people are attracted to with how we curate Instagram. Actually, just today, I had someone comment in a DM to us saying that they love how much we curate our feed and how it flows.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a really good compliment. We love hearing that because, I mean, not only are we here to just share really good spots, but we're also here to support the local creators, share photographers, share their
Absolutely.
work, especially if they're using our hashtag. So make sure you're using hashtag NJSpots, like Abby mentioned earlier. And the thing is that a lot of photographers, and correct me if I'm wrong, Abby, a lot of photographers just want recognition. And I think one of the biggest things is being able to share their work, being able to show that they have pride in New Jersey, whether they live here or not, or they're visiting. So that's one of the biggest things that we do here at NJspots. But there's much more that goes into what we do here and what we're all about. And I'm going to pass it over to Abby because she's a big part of writing the guides and curating the stuff that we have on our website.
Okay, yes. So as Virginia mentioned, we do a ton of work on Instagram, curating photos, sharing photographers' work. But on our website, if you follow us on our newsletter and you're signed up for updates there, we create guides and we curate maps. And this summer, if you followed us on NJspots.com, you'll see that we did scavenger hunts, which we had an intern named Anna. Thank you so much, Anna.
Shout out to Anna.
Shout out to Anna. I created these scavenger hunts for spots in every single county in New Jersey. It took the entire summer for photography spots and adventure spots. So that's the kind of work that we do there.
Funny thing about that real quick. I remember when we were releasing a county every week, right? I think it was
two counties per week.
I remember when we first started, how many people were like, "Where's this county? Where's this county?
People
Where's
were
this
like,
county?
"Where's Bergen County?"
Yeah, they were so mad at us, but we eventually got them all out. But it was like, I just remember people like, "I want my county. I want this county." But that was that was cool to see though. Because it was
for sure.
Because it was something people were genuine. I mean, it's your own backyard. You want to know, like, well, what they picked for my county.
Right, like what is the highlight that you're gonna pick for my county?
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, what's Bergen County? I'm like, I'm gonna put the GW Bridge in Bergen County.
Don't worry,
County.
it's coming.
Like,
it's coming.
Don't worry, it's going there. And one really cool thing that I learned, a lot of times I write a guide about somewhere I've already been so that I can, bring my expertise to that spot. It's really hard to write a guide about somewhere I haven't been, so then that's when I try and either outsource it and I try and find someone who's already been there and I try to have them help me write it. But with the counties, with the scavenger hunts, I had Anna help me because she lives down in Monmouth County.
Yep.
Or I found out that I've actually been to every single county in New Jersey.
Winner.
somehow. I know. So it was kind of like, I would do some research and I'd kind of like be able to figure out the best spots. And also I aggregated, so it was actually really cool because I would aggregate spots from our Instagram feed based on the really popular photos.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really fun project. We also found some really cool spots from our Slack community, which is something else that we facilitate. So, Virginia, do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. So
kind of talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of like what Abby mentioned, while we were collecting all these different spots, what's really cool is a lot of people wanted to be involved and give some advice and some places that they really like to photograph or visit. And one of the places that we really went to first was our Slack community. So we started a little over, I want to say a little over a year ago, maybe. We opened up our Slack community. It's really focusing on photographers, but if you're a local adventurer and you'd like to take pictures on your iPhone too, you're more than welcome to come join.
For sure. I only take pictures on my iPhone.
Exactly. So. And she, by the way, quick plug, she did write an awesome guide on how to take better pictures with your iPhone on NJspots.com. So if you want to check that out, there's some really cool tricks that she shared in there that you might not even know that you could do with your iPhone. So for sure. Step up your Insta game.
And your TikTok game.
Yes, that's coming soon. So get ready. Get ready. But one of the things that we do with our Slack community, I think we have over 80 members at this point.
At least.
Yeah, we have all different topics that we talk about, from photography gear, from places to shoot, from advice on how to take different portrait photos, different, if people are trying to grow their photography business, different tips and ways they could use their
gear
website.
Recommendations.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool, what I really love about it, and I think, Abby, you kind of feel the same too, is that it's not even you and me that are constantly asking the questions. Like, there's some really awesome interactions that there's threads and threads and threads for days of people just commenting, supporting each other. We just opened up
asking questions.
Yeah, we just opened up a new topic on there called photo feedback. So it's pure just how do you feel about this photo I took? Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. And I think that's been really helpful for people trying to figure out what their right editing is and how they want to really get a good certain look that they're looking for. So it's a really cool community of what we're doing there with photographers and being able to kind of just get them to interact with each other.
Yeah, for sure. It's also a place where we kind of talk to the patrons.
Yep.
Who are a huge part of NJspots. They help.
Shout out to the patrons.
Yeah.
The patrons.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do it without them.
No, we wouldn't. We really wouldn't.
We started that last year too.
Yeah. Definitely. The patrons definitely are a huge part of the Slack community, but Abby taps into them a lot on the Slack channel for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they'll help me write guides sometimes. They give gear recommendations because, like Virginia mentioned and I mentioned, I have a camera, but I haven't used it in so long because I have an iPhone 11 now. I just don't even bother.
So fancy.
I know. But yeah, so sometimes I'll ask them, like, I need a gear recommendation for this guide I'm writing. Can someone please help me? I need a photo for this guide in this county and I don't have one. Would anyone mind if I use their photo? And they'll be right there to help me.
Yeah, for sure.
So shout out to all you guys.
Shout out to the patrons. You guys really help us out. We've been doing, we have several different tiers there. So if you're interested in joining and becoming a patron, one of the big ones that we have is the Inner Circle, which we follow you right on Instagram directly, and we'll have more on that later. But we have a lot of great patrons that are just community members. They give us feedback. They like to just be involved with what we're doing, what we're planning. We bounce new ideas off them a lot of times. And one of the things that we just started doing this year, because we haven't been able to host as many meetups as we normally do.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly, but we will. We'll get there. We'll get there. But what we do on Patreon too is we actually have an Instagram insider tier. And what that's about is really sharing tips that's focused more on Instagram. So if you're interested in learning more about the inner workings of Instagram, how we use it here at NJspots, how we leverage a lot of different features and leverage the algorithms, which we all love how the algorithm goes. JK, if you don't know any.
Love to hate.
Yeah, love to hate the algorithm. So, I'm sure we'll have episodes on that too, but we share tips with patrons. And kind of going off of meetups, Abby, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the meetups that we have in the past and that we'll probably
Sure.
have in the future?
Sure. We have had hiking meetups. We have had photography meetups. We have had a pontoon tour.
That was awesome.
I think that one was my favorite.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was so
That was really cool.
cool.
That was with
yeah.
Who was that?
River
Meadowlands.
Keepers?
The Meadowlands.
Yeah, the River Keepers.
Yeah.
That was so cool. We got into 2 pontoon boats at sunset, and we boated through the Meadowlands, bird photography, went under a few bridges.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
Literally, it was
I think
so
one of the trains went
cool.
over. Like, we were going under one of the bridge, and the train went over the bridge. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the only reason we did that is because Brian, I'm totally blanking on his last name, and if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry. But Brian from the River Keepers messaged us on Instagram and was like, hey, do you want to do a pontoon tour? You can never doubt the power of the internet.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening and you want us to have a meetup where you're at, when it's safe
to have one, we had to cancel. We decided to make this sad decision to cancel all our meetups this year.
Yeah, but it was the right thing to do. We want to keep everybody safe. Sure. But we have a lot of really cool meetups that'll be scheduled. Yeah, and ready to go.
The one I'm the most sad about canceling was we had a kayak meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really sad to cancel. But yeah, the hiking ones are always really, really fun. Yep. Because we don't do like a crazy just hike straight to the top. We always stop, take a lot of photos. We have a lot of conversations. We had a couple meetups with the Pennsylvania Collective, which is another
one of our fans. Instagram. Big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to the Pennsylvania Collective. If you guys ever venture over to the Delaware, make sure you tag them, Pennsylvania Collective. We're big fans of Jason and Will over there. They're good friends of ours, and we oftentimes, try to feature certain photos that they might be taking around the Delaware Water Gap too. So be sure to check them out. They're one of our good friends on Instagram.
Yeah, we love to collaborate.
Yeah, definitely. Them. So if, once we can hold some safe meetups, be sure to hit us up. We'd love to hear some ideas that you guys have for different places.
Yeah.
All right, so you're listening. You're wondering what we're going to be talking about in future episodes. First off, thank you for tuning in for the first one. Every episode moving forward is going to be a little different, but we're going to have some really cool segments that we're going to share with you guys regularly. One of the first things that we're going to start with, obviously, our title is Find Your Spot, and we're based off of NJspots. So what do you think we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about a spot on the podcast.
Wow.
What? Mind blown. One of the things that we're going to definitely do is we will definitely be highlighting at least one place. It probably won't be a run-of-the-mill popular spot. It'll probably be something that is a little unique, but we'll definitely be highlighting a spot in New Jersey that we want to talk about. And from there,
Well, I was going to say it'll be legal to visit.
Yes, it'll definitely be legal to visit because we're all about...
Don't want to get in trouble.
Nope, all about the legality here.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely will... we'll probably not only share a couple photos. If you're joining us on YouTube, you could definitely tune in and see the different pictures and places. And we'll describe them if you're listening to us. But also we'll describe and instruct you on how to get there, when to get there, the best time to get there, what you should bring, what you shouldn't bring. That way you have a good idea. And then that way, during the month, you guys can share with us the different photos that you take while you're there.
What a great idea.
Right? I thought so.
Did you think of it yourself?
No. And then
I love it.
Yeah, it'll definitely be something fun, and then I'm sure Abby will use her magic and start creating a guide for them as well.
Love it. Love it.
Definitely. And then another thing that you could definitely expect from us, and something that we kind of touched on earlier, is we're going to be sharing the inside of the inner circle of our patrons. So our patrons are a huge part of what we do here. They keep us running. They help support us for everything that we're, all the different projects that we're working on. So what we'll be doing is we'll be focusing on one of our patrons and one of their recent posts or one of their recent projects that they're working on. and that way we could highlight them and you could get to know them, follow them on Instagram, learn about their project, and that way we could kind of give back to the people that give to us and help support us along the way.
And we do have guides about some of them on our website, NJspots.com. We featured some of them when we were deep in quarantine.
Yes.
Earlier this year. We had some of our patrons working on backyard photography. Joe, he went out into his backyard to see what he could capture every day. Dave was doing porch photography.
Yep.
We love Dave. So, yeah, you can check those out, NJspots.com.
Yeah, definitely. Be sure to check them out.
A little bit of inspiration yourself.
Yeah, and what I like too is I feel like a lot of our patrons, they're photographers, but they all have very unique styles and things that they like to focus on, but they all like to kind of collaborate and work together and talk things out. I know a lot of patrons have actually met up together on the side to take different photos and things and to work on projects. So it's kind of cool to see everybody kind of coming together. And kind of going off of that, getting together and being able to kind of work on different strategies or things, how people approach their creativity is another thing that we'll be sharing. We'll be sharing some marketing and digital tips. So Abby and I are both in the digital space. We don't consider ourselves photographers first, but it's definitely a big part of what we do day to day. So we'll definitely be giving you guys some insights. If you're looking to grow your photography business, maybe you're going to try a different creative project on your own. We'll be thinking of short little tips that could help you, that we oftentimes share with some of our top tier patrons, like we mentioned earlier. Abby's definitely good for a lot of different Twitter tips and TikTok tips. So she'll definitely be coming in with those as well.
Coming in hot.
She's a TikTok celebrity, guys. So if you haven't checked her out already, go follow her.
Oh God.
She's becoming a trending TikToker.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, if you have any ideas for that for our marketing digital segment, we Virginia and I actually did a workshop a couple years ago. Do you remember that?
We did. That was awesome.
That was so fun. We met some really, really fun people.
Yeah.
We had so many good questions.
Yes.
So if
maybe we'll take some inspiration from that, because those are still like some pretty good ideas. Just like how to brand yourself and how to just basically get a better idea of how to carry yourself online, especially if you're looking to become a photographer or, part of the digital world. We'll fill you in. It'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. It will. It'll be great fun. And the last segment we're thinking of including is featuring local businesses, especially in these COVID times.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. We're recording this around the holiday season, and I always like to encourage people, especially this time of year, to really support your local businesses, but we should really be doing it year round, especially lately. We have some of our favorite local businesses that we go to every day, and then I know for myself, I'm a huge coffee junkie.
Oh yeah, I just drank a Virginia latte right before this. It was delicious.
Yeah. So if you want to follow my coffee adventures, check me out on Instagram at Boohoo. I have a lot of fun. I'm actually working on a project where I'm only buying from New Jersey roasters right now. So if you have a fun or favorite roaster in New Jersey, be sure to let me know and I'll try them out.
Awesome.
And if you guys have any other suggestions of different segments or what you guys want to hear from us, we're here to talk with you and to hear from you. This NJspots is a big community, so that's really what we want to learn from you guys, what you guys want to hear about. So if you have suggestions, you could email us hello@njspots.com, or you could DM us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you find us. Or just go to njspots.com and go to our contact page. So if you have suggestions,
one of us will answer.
Someone will answer. We promise. Probably within an hour.
We will get back to you. Yeah, we'll get back to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of crazy like that.
For sure.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah. And then in the meantime, we're just happy to have you guys here. So any feedback is good feedback. Whether you dislike, kind of like things, If you have any suggestions, let us know. We're open. This is our first podcast, but we're pretty excited because we think it'll be fun. We're excited to bring people on as guests. That'll definitely be something we're going to be doing regularly, including our patrons, including local business owners, including people that are running local parks and things like that. So be sure to follow along, subscribe, and also rate us in the podcast world too. I know that's a important part of it too. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here. We hope that you could check out our Patreon and see if you're interested in supporting us. If not, we're just still happy to have you here. If you're a photographer that is looking to up your game, connect with other photographers, or learn more about photography, be sure to join us on our Slack channel.
And follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere you see NJspots.
Follow us.
We'll be there for you.
Yep. And if you're not sure where to find us, just remember NJspots.com. That's all you got to do.
That's right.
And one of the bigger things too is if you're looking for regular updates, we don't want to, crowd your Instagram feed or your Facebook feed too much, but you could always subscribe to our email newsletters. We send updates every week of the latest guides and maps and different photo contests that we have as well, with some really cool prizes. So be sure to subscribe to our email newsletters as well. And in the meantime, keep tagging #NJspots, and we'll see you guys next time, or we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to this recent episode of Explore 365 with NJspots. We hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that way you don't miss any future episodes. Have a topic or idea, or want to be featured on a future episode? Email us at podcast@njspots.com. Thank you again for tuning in, and we can't wait to share the next episode with you.